Hi there, this is I Hate Republicrats. Today I want to talk to you about a few things that are going on from a civil liberties perspective. Uh, Recently there was some legislation signed, the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, as you may have heard it called. Um, this legislation was signed and it contains some very scary provisions. One of the provisions is that if the government deems you a terrorist, even if you're a U.S. citizen, that they can put you behind bars and they don't have to give you a trial, they don't have to go through due process, they don't have to honor habeas corpus. And these are some of the things that are the founding principles of our nation, the founding principles of civil liberties. These are things that in the past have made us different, that we were that bastion of freedom throughout the world, and that beacon of civil liberties, if you will. And now these civil liberties are being stolen out from underneath us. A lot of times the way that they get these things passed is they use fear. After the terrorist attacks of 9/11, that was immediately the first mode that the government turned to, was to start to create a Patriot Act, in which the Patriot Act was just about the opposite of patriotic. And it's scary that they use fear like this to manipulate the people, because the people are so easy to be manipulated at times like that. The government stands out there and says this is going to give us the tools to fight terrorism. This is going to make us safer. We're going to go after these guys. We're going to get these guys. And so, it's almost like, well, if I don't agree with this, wow, I'm not a patriot. It's the Patriot Act. But when you take time to delve into these issues and look beyond what is on the surface and get to really the root of what they're talking about, it would be pretty easy to determine, wow, this gives up civil liberties that have been the foundation of this country. These things that we're giving up are the reason we were the beacon of liberty throughout the world. And now the latest thing is, now the government wants to put 30,000 drones in the skies over the United States of America. And this again, they're using fear. Hey, we're going to make you safer if we have these drones in the sky. We can direct emergency response better. We can fight crime better. You're going to be safer and better off because of this. And they'll use fear. They'll say things like, hey, now if a child gets abducted, we have a lot better chances of identifying that vehicle. And you think, well, who wouldn't want to stop a child from being abducted? I mean, what kind of jerk off would you be to not want to stop that from happening? So God, that makes sense. Well, no, it doesn't make sense. Here's the thing. I've lived in high crime areas. I was born in Pontiac, Michigan, and that place is just about in the top 10 of dangerous cities to live in the country for years. It's a suburb of Detroit, and I've been the victim of violent crime before, and a lot of my friends have been the victim of violent crime as well. But we always understood that we weren't counting on the police or the government to protect us from this. We always knew that it was on us, because by the time something happened, the person who's perpetrating the crime is going to be gone by the time the police get there anyways. So the reality is we're not any safer, and we've sacrificed our civil liberties. And I think a lot of the reason we sacrifice our civil liberties is because we're so apathetic and we're so disconnected from what is going on in this country. A lot of people don't understand the history of this country. They don't understand the economic system. They don't understand anything about the government and how the government works. And they don't understand the Constitution, and that's really probably the worst part about it, because then they don't know what this document was created for. This country was founded by terrorists. They were terrorists against the throne of England, and for good reason. They had their lives were being controlled by the throne of England, but they didn't have any say in their government. They had taxation without representation. Well, you tell me, what do you have representation? We know you have taxation. Did you support the bank bailouts? Did you support the wars, the illegal war in Libya where we went and bombed Libya? Do you support the hundreds of billions of dollars that we give to foreign governments and their militaries every year? Do you have a say in that? Well, you have taxation, but it appears to me you don't have representation. It's time to wake up, America. It's time to put an end to this. Get engaged with your government. Contact your congressman. Contact your senator, and let them know that you don't want 30,000 drones in the skies over the United States. It's not going to make your country any safer.